what do you think about the future of virtual reality? I actually already have a virtual reality headset and I absolutely love it. They're really, really awesome to use, and VR is definitely going to be taking over everything like hardcore. And it's definitely going to be interesting to see how virtual reality like moves forward because technology moves at an incredibly fast speed. So we can go for, if you guys have ever watched Black Mirror, that's 100% what society is moving into. And honestly, it's gonna be a double-edged sword. There's gonna be good things that come out of it because with virtual reality, you can create so much stuff, especially in science. But at the same exact time, my concern with VR is people's obsession. So I can definitely see like a society 10 years from now where everyone is just like laying on their beds with like virtual reality like contacts on, or maybe it's like a chip or something, on their necks or in their brains, and they just like put themselves in this world. It's like, like the Sims game. Anyone here know the game like called The Sims? It's like you can live like like a different type of life in a game where you can be like a doctor and be married and have like 7 kids and have like a llama as a pet. Like I can see people who are not happy with their actual lives using virtual reality to live in a different life that's inside of the VR. You know what I mean? And they prefer that life. Like in real life, let's say in real life they were someone that was, a failure in life. Failure, whatever that means. Or maybe they didn't like the way they looked. Maybe they felt that they were unattractive in real life, right? They would use virtual reality to go into a world where they're like 6'3" with, amazing skin and amazing hair and a 6-pack abs. And they have like $10 million. You know what I mean? Like people will, that exactly what VR will go into. And I can see a society that becomes obsessed with that, and that's something I'm personally concerned about. So, and I'm not the only one saying this, like everyone knows this, and they make movies about this. There's Ready Player One, you have Black Mirror that talks about this all the time, like it's something that's definitely on the mind of engineers and scientists, and at this point I'm pretty sure it's just going to be inevitable. Do you think time travel is possible? I'm not going to say it's impossible because if it worked, I don't think we would have known. However, I think the better question would be, is time travel accessible? And I don't think it is. If it was accessible, I think we would have noticed by now. But if it, like I said though, if it was, that'd be freaking scary. Because here's the thing, it's like the butterfly effect, right? So the butterfly effect is when your smallest little decision can impact everything around the world. And that's something that people really think about. Like, let's say you went back in time to change one little thing. You could cause a huge catastrophe just by changing one little thing. So for example, you don't even need to go back in time for this example. Let's say you walk out into the street and like let's just say you go to the supermarket and you decide to go for a walk. On your way to the supermarket, you see like a rock on the sidewalk. So you pick up that rock and you throw it into the street. 10 minutes later, a car comes flying down that street. The tire goes over the rock. The rock pops the tire. The car driver goes spinning and he crashes into like a pregnant woman and the baby dies. You know what I mean? Just because you picked up that rock at that specific day, on that specific time, at that specific moment, you just ended someone's life. Like I feel like that's something that people don't think about. And that's what it would be like if you went back in time. If you went back in time, the smallest thing that you change could impact so much. And that actually, the old movie, Back to the Future, that's basically what it was about. The scientist goes back into the future, back into the past, and one little thing that he changes the whole world. I want to meet Marty McFly. Doesn't he have a disease now, that actor? I think he has like Parkinson's or something where he keeps moving. I don't know. He has something. Did you ever watch Rick and Morty? I actually never did. I know a lot of people like it though. Here's the thing though. I don't really watch television at all. So other than like Game of Thrones, I don't watch any television shows. Game of Thrones and The Office are like the only shows I've watched. Have you ever played Apex Legends? I tried playing it the other day actually, but I don't know. I like it, but I feel like there's a lot of controversy on that game within the developers. I think it's a good game. I just think the people that created it are dropping the ball on it. And I feel that when Halo, Gears of War, and Call of Duty and stuff come out, I feel like things like Apex Legends and Overwatch and League of Legends, stuff like that, I feel like they're all going to take a big hit, especially Fortnite. Can you please talk about remote viewing? Nope, I cannot. How did you find the Game of Thrones ending? I hated the last season. The first episode of Game of Thrones season was good. It had a good tone to it. It was realistic. It was very sad. It was dramatic. But the rest of the season did not make sense. They rushed it, and you can tell they rushed it, and it just didn't make sense. Like, the way things happened should not have been the way things happened. It was really bad, and that's why so many people were upset with it, and I don't blame them. Why does Fortnite have so much symbolism? Why does anything have so much symbolism? There's symbolism all around us, but if you're asking why does Fortnite specifically have a lot of Illuminati symbolism, it's probably because it's the #1 game being played, and it has a lot of influence. Do you like visual novels? When it comes to reading I read a lot. I read the whole day. But when it comes to actually reading books, I don't really do that. I prefer to actually listen to them. So, like, before I go to sleep, I'll actually play the audiobook of the book that I would like to actually read. And I actually prefer that. I like to get read to. I'm like a baby. I like to get read to, like a story time, late night segment or something. Maybe it's because my parents never read to me as a kid. No, I'm kidding, but I do like to listen to the books. I listened to Jurassic Park like 5 times. But then again, no, I love dinosaurs. Like, even behind me, you can see the Jurassic Park movie poster. Which, by the way, guys, if you guys want to get one of those movie posters, they're from Glowbox. So if you Google Glowbox, it's a company that sells them. They are a little pricey. They're like $400, $500. I didn't pay for it, especially because YouTube is not paying me, so I don't have the money for that. But I got it for free. I contacted them and I was like, hey, I'm a YouTuber. I'll tell my viewers about your product if you send me one. And they were kind enough to do it. So if you guys have money to spend and you want something that's like that, you should get one. When do you plan on streaming games? I actually really want to start streaming the games that I play. I'm just testing my audience. I'm not sure if you guys would want that, and that's my concern. I'm scared that, like, I stream myself playing games and people, find an issue with that. A part of me doesn't even care because, I always have my YouTube videos to talk to you guys on. But as my stream goes on, I will like to actually start playing games on my live streams because I do play games on my spare time. And it would be fun for me to actually stream. And if you guys play the same game, you can totally play with me. I don't care if you guys suck. I don't care if you're amazing. I don't mind having that connection with my audience. Do you think you'll ever run out of jokes? No. I feel like some people are just naturally funny, and there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think I'll run out of jokes. However, as a comedian on social media, you do get stretched. What I mean by stretched is there's only so much funny stuff you can say within a small period of time. Like, I've been making videos for like 4 years, and in the beginning I was making 3 videos a week. That's like 1,000 videos of just being funny. It's hard to do that, it's hard to always have something funny to do in a video. And I feel like people don't actually acknowledge that. Like, people don't see the effort that you need for that. Or even, I don't want to say talent because I don't think I'm talented, but people don't appreciate it. Like, people don't really think, it's actually really hard to be funny for that long. Do you have a day job other than YouTube? Nope. I've actually never had a job in my entire life. I was a lifeguard in college, but I don't really consider that as a job. Someone could have probably drowned in front of me. I wouldn't even have noticed. Are you still live? I can't see you. Yes, I am live. Maybe it's on your end, Virgo. You should try to restart your app or restart your web browser. It's hilarious when you fall out of your chair. Yeah, I fell out of my chair in the last video, and that wasn't even planned. Like, I was sitting at the edge of my chair, and I just slid off, and I actually fell. And you guys can tell when something's scripted in my videos and when something's not scripted, depending on, like, how I react to it. Like, if I curse, or if I'm like shit, or like if my voice gets deeper, that means it wasn't scripted, and I actually did fall there while I was filming it. So in the last video, at the very end, I actually did fall off my chair. Yeah, like, same thing with the frying pans. Like, sometimes in my videos, when I'm, like, swinging the frying pan, I'll actually hit myself with it accidentally. And it hurts. Seriously, like, getting hit with the frying pan actually hurts a lot. And some people, like, think, like, oh, like, that's just Mo being funny. Haha, he hit himself. No, I actually hit myself. That wasn't part of the script. It actually happens. Let's see. Did you get in trouble for the Trump addiction? Yeah, I did. Let's see. Can I hack your computer and download your information? My information does not come from my computer. How are your teeth so perfect? I always took very good care of my teeth ever since I was a kid. Like, I always made sure, like, I flossed and stuff. People ask me about my teeth literally, like, all the time. So it's like the one thing I have going for me. But yeah, I as a kid, I've always taken very good care of them. What happened when you went to the White House? Classified. What's your opinion on reincarnation? I say that I joke about reincarnation all the time, and my joke on it is, I hope not. I really hope reincarnation is not real. I do not want to be on this planet anymore. I'm 25 years old, and I'm already done. Okay? Like, I don't even want to, like, grow old. Not because I'm going to be old and wrinkly and I care about how I look, but I don't want to take it anymore. I can't deal with it anymore. Like, I'm done. Like, I'm 25, but I feel 75. I'm ready for the casket. Just, like, bury me now. I'm over it. Can I just go to, like, the next chapter already? Seriously. Why the hell do you only have 150 views but have 1,000 subscribers? I actually don't have 1,000 subscribers. I think I have 1,000 followers. That is because, like, live streaming is very awkward when it comes to you're using your YouTube viewers, because my YouTube viewers, they live all around the world. So there's gonna be people that are like, you know, right now it's 5:30 p.m. in New York. But for them, it's like 1 a.m. or 12 o'clock or 11 o'clock. It's too late for them. For people that live on the West Coast, you know, it's like 2 o'clock. So they're either still at work or they're outside playing. You know, it's summertime. So the time that you stream matters a lot. Personally, for me, I'm not looking at my how many viewers I have. Eventually, more and more people will start coming, and I'm okay with that. But yeah, seriously, I do not want reincarnation to be real. If you believe in it, that's perfectly fine. Me, personally, I don't want it. I do not want reincarnation. Maybe that's why babies cry when we're born. Maybe, like, we die, and then the next thing you see is you coming out of, like, your mom was... Who the hell turned off the lights again? Yay, we're back. Okay. But yeah, like, maybe that's why babies cry when they're born. Maybe it's like you die, and then your life, you see everything that happened, and then you come out of your mom's butthole again. And then you realize, oh my God, I'm back. I have to start this shit all over again. And that's why newborns start crying. It's just that they can't tell you because they can't talk. But by the time you grow older, you just forget about it. Imagine, like, that's what was going on this whole time. That would be insane. Seriously, that would be crazy. I would not want to restart life all over again. Screw that. I don't care if, like, I was going to come back as, like, a multi-millionaire or something. Like, I do not want to repeat any of this stuff again. My daughter cried all the time, nonstop. It's actually better for your child to be crying than for your child not to cry. It's like there's a saying in Arabic culture where if your child is very active, like if you have like a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old that's like always running around the place, some people might see that as a bad thing. You know, they might think that your child's hyperactive, but there's an Arabic saying that to basically just translate it, it means that it's better to have an active child than a child that's not active at all. Or to be more specific, if your child wasn't active and running around, then there would be a problem. In the West Coast, in America, it's the opposite. If your child is active and always running around, then they have a problem. You know, they're hyperactive, or they have like autism, or they have like some type of issue. But on the eastern side of the hemisphere, if your child is active, that means that they're healthy. And it shows you like the complete difference of society and how much pharmaceutical companies have absolutely like, you know, mind controlled people that live in America. Are you Palestinian? Yeah, my parents are from Palestine. My parents were born in New York, but my grandparents are from Palestine. So yeah, my whole family could speak Spanish though, because my grandfather went from Palestine to Venezuela and he learned how to speak Spanish, and that's why my whole family can also speak Spanish. So yeah. Do you believe in free will? That's a good question. So people are constantly debating about free will, and something that people need to realize is, do you have free will? I mean, it's constantly a debated question, and it's hard to actually answer. And I don't think there even is an answer for it. Because if you tell yourself, yes, I have free will, I get to choose what happens in my life. Do you? Do you choose when you die? Do you choose how you die? Do you choose the things that happen to your life that you have no control over? Like, you know, and then you have to ask yourself, then what's destiny? Was it, or when you marry someone, were you destined to marry that person? If you die in a car crash, were you destined to die in that car crash? You know what I mean? Like, it's definitely a very deep philosophical debate that you can have, and there is no answer to it. Wow, I've been streaming for an hour already. Holy shit. U.S. culture is so messed up. They train children that are meant to be active and playing to sit still and be inactive. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, when you go to school, you have to sit down for like 8 hours a day. Humans are not designed to do that. You know what I mean? Like, you go to school, and then from the ages of like 6 all the way to what, 18, you're stuck sitting down 8 hours a day. Just for you to go to college to sit down again, all over again, for another 4 years. And then you graduate, and then you get like a job in the office where you're once again sitting down for the rest of your life. You do that for 40 years, and then you die. You know what I mean? Like, that's not a life that we as a society should be striving for. Guys, if anyone here is having technical difficulties within the audio or, you know, the screen, it's most likely just you, because if there was a problem on my end, everyone would be experiencing it. Last time you spoke in Latin, can you please speak in Arabic? Ew, I don't want to be forced to do it. Mo, I thought your parents were from Egypt. Nope, I'm not Egyptian. I think my grandmother's mother was Egyptian though. But primarily I'm Palestinian. To be honest with you guys, a lot of people don't know this, especially Europeans. All Arabs are the same. All Middle Eastern people are the same. When I say Middle Eastern people, I'm not talking like Indian and Pakistani, because they're South Asian. Like, if you're from Lebanon, if you're from Syria, if you're from Palestine, if you're from Egypt, if you're from Saudi Arabia, etc., they're all the same people. It's just Britain came in and divided all of them through political warfare. You know what I mean? But they're all the same. So technically speaking, there is no such thing as Palestinians and Syrians and Lebanese people. They're all the same people. It's just Britain came in and divided everyone. You know, it's the same thing how Indians and people